Okay, we go ahead and move on. Is everybody ready, or do we need a break? Anybody need a break? Ready to go? Okay, so the time is 6:10. Good evening once again, everyone. Today is Thursday, February 23rd, 2023, and this is a special board meeting of the San Benito CISD Board of Trustees. I begin with roll call. Mr. Mario Silva. Present. Oscar Medrano. Present. Rudy Corona. Present. Dr. Ariel Cruz. Frutoso M. Gomez.
Present.
Orlando Lopez.
Present.
Teresa Cerreon.
Present.
Stephen Weller.
Present.
And I'm here, so we do have a quorum established for tonight. Okay, next item on the agenda is item 1.2, public comment. Ms. Peggy, do you have can you give me a copy of my little, never mind, I found it. I found one. Sorry about that. So before we move on, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling public comment. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public who wish to address any topic. Anyone who would like to speak during public comment must sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list the topic or topics they want to discuss. Each public comment speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to address the board for each topic. If more than 10 speakers are signed up to speak on the same topic, all additional speakers on that item shall be limited to 2 minutes. However, any public testimony speaker who requires a translator will receive up to 6 minutes to address the board. Please keep your comments or criticisms civil and courteous. Please avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. Lastly, we ask that you do not discuss students who are not your own children. If a speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint, that concern should be addressed through the district's grievance process. District policy DGBA has been established for addressing employee complaints. Policy FNG is the avenue for filing parent complaints, and policy GF addresses community member complaints. Grievance forms may be obtained at any campus administration office or at the district central administration offices. So with that said, our first speaker for tonight is Rosalinda G. Garcia. Ms. Garcia, welcome. And just give me just a minute, Ms. Garcia, so I can set the timer, please.
Good evening, members of the board, superintendent. My first is a non-agenda item. A community once brought up a suggestion about placing a clock there, and I totally agree, because it benefits us speakers and speeding up if we need to, because of the time. Thank you. My agenda item is on the Brighton contract. Once a former board member commented, and I have brought up this before, that she got tired of hearing community members bringing up the same topic over and over. And another former board member said, well, if they keep bringing up the topic, that means we haven't resolved it. And with tonight, I bring up about the Brighton group, that tonight during the closed meeting section, the contract will be discussed. I am assuming that. And I want to tell the community that you voted for a $40 million bond for 3 facilities to be built. And one of them was a performing arts center. Any money left over from the other 2 was supposed to go into the performing arts. That performing arts, as per the committee, building committee, was supposed to be a state-of-the-art center. No cuts, nothing. State-of-the-art. It doesn't seem like we're going in that direction, because I've already seen in previous board meetings cuts here and there. And as you have heard, community of San Benito, these projects are way over budget. Maybe 5 million, 10 million. Previous board members never hired a building consultant to look after our interest. They just went with the project manager. From the start, the proposals for the bonds seemed extremely high. That is why it was not a clear margin win at the polls. Some community members did some homework as they could on it. At tonight's discussion, will a tenured board member once again place the interests of the district last? Will this tenured board member side with the Brighton Group over and over, as he did during the forensic audit presentation? This is a tenured board member that accused other board members of micromanaging, of being the cause for a previous superintendent leaving over the selection of our present superintendent. Community, this is a present board member that is gravely concerned about the bond construction. All our board members, they're extremely concerned, and that's why they might be taking action tonight. I support any action that they will take tonight. Thank you for all your work and time. God bless you.
Ms. Garcia, thank you. Okay, there is no other one here for any further public comment, so we move on under action agenda items. Item 2.1, discussion, consideration, and possible approval regarding purchases over $25,000. Ms. Real?
Yes, thank you, President Moreno. I recommend the board approve all purchases over $25,000 as presented.
Those items were sent in our packets via BoardWorks. Does anyone have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve as presented? Okay, Mr. Frutoso Gomez makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Orlando Lopez. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. Item 2.2, discussion, consideration, and possible approval regarding Project Lead the Way grant agreement for San Benito High School. Mr. Reo?
Yes, thank you. I also recommend the board approve Project Lead the Way grant agreement for San Benito High School.
Okay, we have no questions by anyone, so we have a motion by Mario Silva. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Oscar Medrano. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. Item 2.3, discussion, consideration, and possible approval regarding Project Lead the Way grant agreement for San Benito Veterans Memorial Academy.
Yes, sir. I recommend the board approve Project Lead the Way grant agreement for San Benito Veterans Memorial Academy.
Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve Project Lead the Way for San Benito VMA? Okay, we have another motion by Mr. Mario Silva. Do I have a second? Second by Rudy Corona. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. We move to closed meeting in accordance with Texas Government Code Open Meetings Act. The board may move. Did you have an objection, Mr. Weller? No? Am I hearing things?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. In accordance with Texas Government Code Open Meetings Act, the board may move into closed session for the following reasons. Section 551.071 for the purpose of a private consultation with the board's attorney on any or all subjects or matters authorized by law. Section 551.074 for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee. And Section 551.082, certain school board deliberations. The time is 6:18, and we move into executive session. All right, the time is 7:47, and we reconvene into open session. Item 3.1, employment, resignations, and retirements. There are none. So we move on to item 3.2, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding contract with the Brighton Group. At this point, I'd like to move that we terminate the Brighton Group as discussed in general session. I made a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Okay, we have a motion by myself and a second by Mario Silva. Oh, and I'm sorry, as discussed in executive session. Sorry about that. So once again, I move that we terminate the contract with the Brighton Group as discussed in executive session. So we have a motion by myself, Ramiro Moreno, second by Mario Silva. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Motion carries 6-0. Okay, there are no other items for discussion. So at this time, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Go Hounds.
Okay, we have a motion by Oscar Medrano. Do I have a second? Second by Orlando Lopez. All those in favor? Motion carries, gentlemen. Okay, motion carries 6-0. Meeting adjourned, 7:48. Thank you all for being here tonight.